All right, 7th grade, we are working on 4.2 solving equations using multiplication or division. So for your warm-ups, find the difference. What does difference mean?
Subtraction.
Subtraction. Write your answer as a decimal. When you're subtracting decimals, what do you need to do first?
Wait, never mind.
How do you subtract decimals? You have to...
It's kind of like adding.
Nope, you're subtracting. You have to line up the decimals. Okay, you can't just multiply straight across. When you're adding or subtracting decimals, you have to line up the decimals. On this one, when you have a negative and a negative next to each other, what does that change that to? So this is going to be negative 4.3 plus 9.91. Okay? Or you could put 9.91 minus 4.3 on your paper. All right, so work on those two real quick, and then go write your vocab. All right, so much like yesterday's lesson, whatever you do to one side of the equal sign, you need to do the same thing to the other side of the equal sign. Yesterday we did addition and subtraction, right? If we added on one side, we added on the other side. Make sense? Today is multiplication and division. So the algebra is right here. If we already have A equals B, if we multiply C times the A, then you have to multiply C times the B in order for it to remain an equivalent equation. Okay? Same thing with division. If I'm going to divide by another number, I have to divide by that same number on the other side, as long as that number is not 0. All right? So let's practice this. Guys, long story short, as long as you do what you did on the left to the same thing on the right, it's going to work.
Okay.
So let's look at example 1a. We're going to solve for x here. I have x divided by 3 equals negative 6. What kind of math is this again?
Division.
So what's the opposite of division?
Multiplication.
Multiplication. So I'm going to multiply a 3 in order to move it away. So multiply by 3 on both sides. So I multiplied by 3 over here. That cancels, so I'm left with just an x. And then on the right side, I have 3 times negative 6, which is?
Negative 6. No,
Negative
18.
9.
Negative 18. We're multiplying.
Oh.
Negative 6 times 3. Okay, so then I'm left with x equals negative 18. Okay, all I did was undo the division. So whatever the math is here, you do the opposite in order to move everything away from the x. Yes?
So basically, you use the denominator's number to cancel the...
To get rid of it, in this case. Yep.
Okay.
Because this says division, x divided by 3. That's what that's saying. So then I multiplied times 3. This is like 3 over 1, technically, right? So then those would cancel, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And then I have 3 over 1 times negative 6, which is just negative 18. So, good question. Excellent question. All right, let's look at the next one. In B, we're solving for y here. Okay? So how do I get what kind of math is with this y right here?
Subtraction.
Nope.
Addition.
Nope.
Multiplication.
Multiplication. It's a number right next to a letter. That means negative 4 times y.
Oh.
This is negative 4 times y. Stop talking when I'm talking. Makes me think y'all don't know, you're not listening, which is explaining why you don't know the simple rules. When you have a number next to a letter, it means multiplication. What's the opposite of multiplication?
Division.
So we're going to divide by what to get the y by itself?
4.
Take the negative as well. We're going to divide by a negative 4. Whoops, forgot that. So divide both sides by negative 4, because whatever I do to one side of the equal sign, I have to do the same to the other side. So divide negative 4 by negative 4, it's gone, right? That's just 1. What is 18 divided by negative 4?
3.
Negative 4.5. Okay, so you end up with y equals negative 4.5. Bless you. Does this make sense? I'm not confident in your not confidence. So let's do a couple more. All right, if I have, green's fine, x over 2 equals 24. Okay, I want to solve for x here. Okay, what kind of math is this right here? Division. So opposite of division is?
Multiplication.
So then I just say times 2 over here and times 2 over here. Remember, parentheses means multiplication, right? So 2 over 1 times 1 over 2, technically, cancels. Because there's an imaginary 1 here, right? Okay, so I'm left with just x. What's 24 times 2? 48. So then x would equal 48. That make sense?
Yes.
Okay, let me do one more. Okay, if I have negative 4y equals negative 32, what kind of math is right here with this y? Multiplication. It's saying 4 times y. We can't solve it because we don't know what y is, right? So in order to solve for the y, I need to get the 4 away from it. So since it's multiply, what am I going to do?
Divide.
Divide. Very good. Divide by negative 4. Take the negative with it. Don't leave the negative with the y. So divide everything over here by negative 4. So that's canceled because 4 divided by 4 is 1, right? So y. Negative 32 divided by negative 4 is?
8.
Negative 8.
Negative 8.
Negative or positive?
Positive. Yes.
It's a negative divided by a negative, so your answer is positive.
Yes.
All right, does that feel better?
Yes.
Yes. Because I can't leave a 2 over here. I have to show the work that I moved the 2 over here.
Oh.
You are essentially just doing 2 times 24. But I need you to know, because eventually you're going to get much harder problems, like yeah, I could keep going. I need you to be able to show me all the different steps to solve for x. So yes, it is as simple as just multiplying by 2. But I need to know you know how to do this part, so that way when we get to problems like this, you can do the steps.
Okay.
Okay? That's why. Question.
Can you go back to the other one?
The division or multiplication?
The multiplication. No.
The division?
Yeah.
Okay? Any questions? All right, good. Go ahead and work on your triads. All right. So we're example 2a. We're going to solve for the variable again. So this is just trying to throw you because it's fractions. Don't let that make you nervous. Just follow the steps. Negative 4/5 x equals negative 8. What kind of math is going on right here, right now?
Multiplication.
It's multiplication. It's saying negative 4/5 times x equals negative 8.
Yes.
So what's the opposite of multiplication?
Division.
So we're going to divide by 4/5 from both sides.
Yes.
When you divide fractions, what do you actually do?
Flip it.
Flip on.
You flip it and multiply. So we're going to multiply times 5/4, negative. And on the same on the other side, times negative 5/4.
Yes.
So these cancel. I'm left with just x. I would put negative 8/1. What is negative 5/4 times negative 8/1?
10. 10. No, can you say that again?
Negative 5/4.
It's
It's 10.
It is 10, because 5 times 8 is what?
positive.
Well, what's 5 times 8?
40.
40 divided by 4,
10.
10, and it's a negative times a negative, so it would be a positive.
Oh.
Good job, Ricky.
Oh. Okay.
Well, you had it first. Excellent. Question. Shh.
From the beginning, you switched the multiplication to division, and then you switched it again to multiplication.
Right, because I want you to recognize that technically I'm dividing to get this x by itself. The catch is it's a fraction. So with fraction, when you're dividing fractions, you actually flip it over and multiply.
Okay.
But I don't want you to think, right when you see this, that you're multiplying. I want you to think, I'm dividing away the 4/5.
Okay.
It just happens to be that since it's a fraction, I multiply.
Okay.
The reciprocal. Good, let's do the next one.
Yay.
8th grade, I need y'all to be quieter. -6 equals 3/2 z. What kind of math is going on right here? Technically, it is.
Division.
Division.
Oh, multiplication.
It's the same as up here.
Yes.
3/2 times z. Anything, any number times a letter, any number next to a letter means multiplication. Okay, so to get the z by itself,
Multiply.
flip it and multiply.
Yes.
So we're going to multiply times 2/3 to both sides.
Yes.
This cancels. I have z. What is -6 times 2 divided by 3?
-4.
-4. Very good.
-4 equals.
I use this to see.
Yeah, of course. Any questions on how we did that? Besides, get my big head out of the way.
So you flip them and then you flip them and you...
Because it's a fraction, if this was just a 3, we would just divide 3, right? Because it's a fraction, when we divide 3/2, we flip it over and multiply. So you multiply the reciprocal of a fraction to get rid of it. Because look, let me pull up my whiteboard. If I have 2/3 and I want to get rid of this 2/3, if I multiply times 3/2, cross simplify here. This becomes a 1, this becomes a 1, right?
Yeah.
This becomes a 1, this becomes a 1.
Yeah.
So then everything becomes 1/1, which is just 1. Which if I have the variable, do I have to write the 1?
No.
No, I just write the variable.
This is a lot of ones.
And what
It is a lot of 1s. This is why I don't do this all.
And the 4 you got them from multiplying?
Right, because we had 2/3 times -6. So if I had 2/3 times -6, technically I can write -6/1, right? -6 times 2 is what? -12. 3 times 1 is 3. And then I just simplify this. What's -12 divided by 3?
4. -1.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. We just did it faster in our heads, is all. Don't be afraid to write the steps, guys. If it helps you, please write the steps. Question, Izzy.
Yeah, so like you multiply and then like it just where did you get like so these you multiplied them but then there were 2 separate answers from the multiplication, so how did you get 1?
For here?
Yeah.
Alright, let me write the whole thing and we'll do. So it's -6 equals 3/2 z. Alright, so -6 equals 3/2. So I'm trying to get rid of this 3/2 because I'm solving for z. So in order to move this 3/2, technically I would divide by 3/2, but since it's a fraction, division is flip it and multiply. So I flip it over 2 times 3. Okay, and then I do the same thing over here, times 2/3. Okay, that makes this over 1. So on this side, you can do it 2 ways. I can cross simplify, which makes all of these a bunch of 1s, or I can do the math. What's 2 times 3?
6.
6. What's 3 times 2?
2.
6/6 is
1.
1. So then this simplified becomes a 1z. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, then on this side, I do 2 times -6, which is -12, over 3 times 1, which is 3. Now I can simplify this further by dividing 3 into 12. Gives you the -4 equals, do I have to write this 1?
No.
No, so then I have z all by itself finally?
Yeah.
Yes. Does that make more sense? Yay, good. Joaquin.
Wait, can you go back to the problem, please? So what did you do with the 6?
Which one? This one?
Multiply. Or the bottom one. You multiplied.
This one?
Yes, I don't know.
I just did it. Were you watching?
Oh.
Here's my 6.
Oh.
So I multiplied times 2/3.
Okay.
So 2 times -6, this is a giant negative, I know. 2 times -6 gave me -12. 3 times 1 gave me 3. Negative 12 divided by 3 gives me a negative 4. Good? Alright. Everybody should have that now. So go do try it's 4 through 6, self-assess through 14. So all the way through 14, 7th grade. The temperature at midnight is shown on the left, right here, 56 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature decreases 4.5 Fahrenheit each hour. When will the temperature be 32 degrees? Okay, so let's create our word problem here. So we know the beginning temperature is what?
56.
56.
Fahrenheit.
We started at 56 degrees Fahrenheit. We know how much it decreases every hour, which is?
32. I mean 4.5.
You'll need to slow down and think before you shout out answers, because you're just shouting out numbers.
Yes.
Slow down,
I'm sorry.
think, so you get the right answer. This is not a race. Okay? So 56 minus 4.5 will give you what the change is for 1 hour, right?
Yeah.
So we need to keep subtracting the 4.5 until we get to where?
32.
32. So can we find the difference between 56 and 32?
Yes.
Yes.
What's 56 minus?
24.
See, I rush it.
Okay, so we need to find the the change in temperature, and that should equal the hourly change in temperature times how long it takes. Okay, the change in temperature, which the time we don't know, so we're going to put T. So the change in temperature we found out is it changed by 24, right?
Yes.
Why is it a negative 24?
Because the temperature decreases.
Very good. The temperature is decreasing. Excellent. Okay, and then how much does it change per hour?
4.5.
4.5.
It decreases, make sure you put that in there, by 4.5. So it's a negative 4.5. Okay, times T. Have we created an equation that we can now solve?
Yes.
Yes.
Ma'am.
We have 4.5 times T. How would I move this to the other side?
Divide.
Slow down.
We're dividing.
We're going to divide. I know, but it's very muddled. Just think and then say.
You got it right.
Negative 4.5 divided by negative 4.5 leaves me with just T. What is negative 24 divided by negative 4.5?
I don't know.
5.3 and it's 3.
Forever. 5.3 forever. All right, so this is in what time? Minutes, seconds? Hours. So it's going to take a little over 5 hours. If I change the decimal to a fraction, it's 1/3. 5 1/3, okay? What is 1/3 of an hour?
20
minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
It is 20 minutes.
I
knew it.
Five.
So the temperature will become 32 degrees after 5 hours and 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yes. Stop rushing. Okay? So if we started at midnight, what time will it be?
It'll be 5 in the morning. 5:20.
5:20 a.m.
That's cold.
Yeah, that's what has been happening for the last few weeks.
Really? Actually, it's been 32 degrees now?
It got down to 40 something. In the night, at 5 in the morning, it was 40 something degrees.
Today?
No, it's warm. It's been warm the last 3 days. But this was like 4 days ago. It was in the 40s at 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, any questions on how we did this?
Oh, man.
All right, make sure you finish your self-assess all the way through number 14. Nope, number 16.
I don't think it's going to snow this week.
We already did 4.
If it does, it'll be January. Okay, number 16, that's homework if you haven't finished it in class.